My name is Natalia Fajardo, and I am coordinator of the Vermont Migrant Farm Workers Solidarity Project.
And I am Brendan O'Neill, and I am also a coordinator of the Farm Worker Solidarity Project.
What we do is open space for farm workers to come together as a community, share a meal, and talk about common problems and brainstorm solutions.
What's an example of a successful networking or collaboration that you've experienced in Vermont?
We were part of making something called the Action Pack for Bias-Free Policing in Vermont. The model of it was very much a network in that we created a tool that local communities could use to engage their local police to create safe space for Vermont's, not just farm worker communities, but all communities of color. A more concrete example of how that was used was, for example, in Hardwick. We showed our film there and sort of raised awareness, developed some contacts within the community, followed up with those contacts over time, and they eventually brought together the police chief, some dairy farmers, and some local members of actually the Hardwick co-op, and had an open dialogue and discussion about adopting a bias-free policing policy. We're trying to put a resource and tool in communities' hands and then sort of connect people across the state who are interested in doing similar work. It's been effective in that as a network, we just draw upon the human resources within it and experiences within it and connect people who have valuable experiences and that can support one another. In this case, help move forward more just farming communities in Vermont that are inclusive of our migrant farm workers. What seemed to be maybe, or still is, most successful is sort of identifying the skill sets and what are the resources and experiences and sort of success stories that exist, and just knowing who's who doing what in the state and connecting people. So I think just more bringing people together, being able to refer people based on a particular situation to someone else who might have done something similar. So like in the case of Hardwick, referring folks in Hardwick who are interested in passing a bias-free policing policy with community leaders in Middlebury, and actually we've even been able to refer police chiefs to other police chiefs. So like the Burlington police chief and the Winooski police chief and the Middlebury police chief are willing to talk to other police chiefs about why they chose to do these bias-free policing policies. So just sort of it's literally, I guess, networking and building relationships between people to benefit from each other's experiences.
So in thinking about the Farm to Plate network, what do you see as being a key element to it being successful?
In my opinion, one very essential element for it to be successful is to have the voices of everybody that's part of this food system in the table. And so the same way that we currently have nonprofit organizations, farmers, funders, people who from life experience and also an interest are in this, we also need to have the voices of farm workers, not only migrant farm workers, but everybody who, one way or another, labors in the food system, for it to really reflect the sustainability that's behind the rhetoric and the talk. I think it really needs to not only include the voice of these people, but also address their needs as we look at livable wages and systems that not only protect the environment, but also the very people that make it happen.